Hey guys, welcome to another episode of X's and O's Coach Talk with Coach Pollock. I'm going to continue our discussion about shifts and motions today in ways that you can really confuse the defense and use the very same plays that you run from a static formation with no movement at all, and then add a little movement to it and see the defense's head start spinning. Really make those guys think over there. And I'm going to tell you, if they're thinking, they're not playing fast. And if they're not playing fast, they're playing into your hands. So right here, let's look at this situation right here. First of all, I've got a 2x2 FIB formation right here. I've got two receivers into the boundary because I'm sitting here on the right hash. This receiver here is out here on the logo, okay? All right, which is the divider, some people call it, okay? And so we've got an over front here, and guys, there's several things they could do here. You're probably gonna get some kind of one high look in this situation, but if they stay too high, they could do that as well. There's a lot of ways they can handle this. It depends on what their philosophy is, okay? And I'm just gonna keep them right back here, just for argument's sake, okay? Now I've got a 2x2 FIB, which already you're in a formation into the boundary formation, because so already your defense is having to ask itself questions, okay? How we want to handle this? Well, if they're a nickel to the receiver strength team, they're going to bring him here. However, if you've got a really good receiver out here, they may leave him to the field. I've seen, some people leave their nickel to the field all the time. Some people travel their nickel with the multiple receiver side. So right here, I've already got them in a bind with the nickel sitting right here in the boundary, in my opinion. Now, if I take this and I motion this tight end across and I stop him right here, okay? Now you can see I have a 3x1 FIB formation, okay? So now they've got to ask themselves, did they want to bump them backers over, and expose themselves out here a little bit, or they want to roll a safety down? They've just got to ask themselves a lot of questions here. And, there's a lot of ways they can do this. Now, as soon as he gets set, I want to take this guy and put him in orbit motion, okay? All right? And I want to give the quarterback the opportunity that if he sees 2-on-1 out here, say this safety doesn't come down as fast as he should, and we feel like we got an opportunity. I want him to rip that ball out there to him, okay? I want him to rip it out there if he feels it, okay? Now, what I like to do right here is I like to run the counter that we talked about yesterday. And in this situation, we can pull the guard because they got a 2-eye backside. Now, if they were to shift the front over and give you that 3 backside, you're gonna have to pull that center. I just don't, I don't believe you can pull that guard from the backside with that 3 technique sitting there, and not against a good 3 technique. He's going to blow up and make a lot of penetration to the backside and really kill your play, okay? So anyway, you've got your counter right here, and of course you've got your RPO with your guy backside right here. And then, you can, depending on how you want to handle this backside, a lot of times people will run him on a quick out to give that way if they were to roll, or run that nickel over, or get too soft out there and the quarterback just sees he's got a free access quick out there, you've got a chance to do some damage back there. Hey, another thing I like about this is I'm motioning the outside receiver, okay? That, for some reason, that defenses get so used to the inside receiver motion, and all of a sudden you motion the outside receiver all the way across, and that starts making them think a little bit different as well. So I like this right here. And I tell you something else I like to do off this. If people start really running this safety down to try to make the play on this guy, because you've heard him a couple of times, hey, run that glance behind him, run that bang 8 right there behind him, and give you an opportunity to have a big play, okay? I can tell you right now, you can really take advantage of that rotation if they get too aggressive with your orbit motion, okay? Now, next thing I want to talk about is, say I'm on the left hash and I'm in the 3x1 right here to the field, okay? All right, I'm on the left hash here. Okay, and I'm in my tight, I got my tight end right here in my Y off position. You know, say they go here, you know, they may bump that Mike, play that nickel corner, safety corner like this. Okay, well, all right, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. They've seen you line up in this several times and they're kind of getting comfortable. Well, take this tight end here, move him on the ball, move this guy off the ball. Let them pause for a second. After they pause, send him in orbit motion. You got a built-in situation here where if they don't adjust to this, you just pop the ball out real quick to your guy. Just pop it out there real quick to your guy. Okay. If you don't have that situation, and you know, if you want to, I'd probably put the back right here, okay, because I would probably come back and run counter to the other way here. All right, if they were to probably slide it here, well, now you've got a nose playing 3 and a tackle playing a 2-eye if they bump it over. Probably not a lot of reps. Probably not their most comfortable situation there, okay? And then this is for my old wing T guys, because I know a lot of people are going to fuss about this right here and try to get me a little bit, okay? But you can come back, double here, pull here, okay? Lock on here, and you can pull this tight end from an inline situation and run your counter that way. Okay, I really think that's a great way to do that as well, and I think it's something that you would get a lot of mileage out of. You know, another thing that I think you can do here with this same look that you can test them is you got them on the left hash here. All right, you got your running back here. Okay. And then, you know, there again, you got this look here, okay? Probably getting something like this, okay? All right, now move him here, especially if they keep that rush inside, so they put him in a 7, okay? Because you're moving him back, and then you go motion here, okay? There again, if they don't adjust, okay, you have the ability just to whip it out here, okay? If they start over adjusting, throw this glance under concept, okay? If they start over adjusting, throw this glance under concept off your counter or whatever. But another play that I like, and I think it's a great way to run this with this orbit motion here, is the pin and pull, okay? So once he goes in motion, say this corner comes in here, this tight end's gonna pin him, okay? Say they adjusted, okay? Say they adjusted here, that's fine. We're gonna pin, he's here, he's pulling, we're zoning backside, and we're off, you know? It's a great way to maybe get a 7 technique out there, you know, because you got a guy here, maybe they don't get him in a 9 because you motion that you got that guy over, but they got to play a 6 or a 7 there, most likely because they feel like if they got him in a 9, they won't have enough in C gap. Okay, so you're probably going to get a chance to run that pin and pull scheme, and probably against a guy that if they got a true rush in, probably isn't really their boy dog at stopping the run. You know, if you want to be honest about it, he's probably more of a pass rush guy. You know, especially at the high school level, because at the high school level, you're probably going to you're putting him away from the tight end, so he's used to coming off that edge. He's not really used to a tight end being on him, okay? So there again, you've used motion, you've used shifts in motion to give yourself a personnel advantage, and there again, you've gone from 3-by-1 to 2-by-2 back to 3-by-1. But you've gone 3-by-1 open, brought him over, gone to 2-by-2, and now you've gone to 3-by-1 closed. So like I say, it gives defenses a lot of trouble. You can run that counter scheme there, or you can run this pin and pull backside, or whatever running game you want to run. But I love having this orbit motion with these 2 blockers in front of him, with the ability for the quarterback just to whip it out there. Okay, so that's a great way to do that. And that's another great deal for you in terms of being able to use motion and use those different movements to create an advantage in the run game and the pass game. Okay, hey guys, use these double motions, use these shift and motions together. Be able to really manipulate the defense. And I encourage you to run them early in the game. Get them on your first 15 play script. That way you can go back, watch the iPad on the sideline. You can see how they're adjusting, and then you're going to have some things off of that to take advantage of whatever their adjustment is once you figure out how they're adjusting to those different shifts and motions. And then you come back and have something to take advantage of what they're doing. Hey guys, keep it coming. Enjoy your off week next week. Hey, make sure that you come back second week of July ready to go. But I'm going to still be bringing the videos to you, still be doing what I got to do to make sure that we're still talking a little football in the meantime. Until next time, go Buffs.